Oh no. Hey. Hello there, welcome to another episode of Flash Zellow Fiction Done Fast, a show where I take a bunch of prompts from my friends and I turn them into one-page short stories, live for your entertainment. So, how's it going? Now that I got everything squared away. We're good. We're all good. I just had a little bit of lunch and I'm like, it's time for a nap. What do you guys say? So, oh no, it's so far away. I want to show you guys a thing I got, but it's so far away. I wonder if I turn to my fiance, who's way more patient than she should be, and if I stare at her sadly, maybe she'll get it for me. Darling, my love, my snuggly wuggly bear, my cookies and cream, my the sugar you pour on me, my I'm gonna get it. Never, don't mind me.
Okay.
I got this book with a glare on it. It is the Tal'Dorei campaign setting guide for campaign 1 of Critical Role. And I love it. I'm not done with campaign 1 yet, so no spoilers, please. I'd appreciate it. But I'm very excited to have this to go alongside my The World of the Witcher and my World of Ice and Fire book. The world building for my fantasy series will be unstoppable with these resources, so that I might steal everything from people who I already like. I'm good. Doing ranch work, maybe in and out. Fair enough. Fair enough. And by fair enough, I mean, how dare you? This is an insult to me, my ancestors, and your ancestors. This obviously should be your top priority. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. What kind of ranch work you doing? You doing, like... Yeah, I don't know shit about ranch work. So, I lived in the country. I did not ever live... I lived in a middle-class house in the country, I guess. Is how I would say it. So, like, building a storage building. You know, the fact that me and another person have been crammed in this one room for 3 years. The idea of a building... What are the dimensions on your storage building? I must know if your storage building is bigger than our room. This room is so small. It's not actually that small. It's not small if it was one person, and it wouldn't be small if, like, we actually had more than just this room. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Well, while Scarlet Fury does the math in her head and, you know, lets me know what the dimensions are, I'm just going to go ahead. 40 by 80.
That's bigger than this room.
Yeah, no, that's bigger than this room. Hey, you want to rent out your storage building? Honey, we're moving to Colorado.
Okay.
I agree with Little Druid. Ooh, lots of storage. Ooh, lots of storage. I can't see something like lots of without thinking of Jar Jar Binks. My apologies. Maybe a little. Just a little bit bigger. I mean, sizes and everything. It won't have heat, but we can work something out. Hey, I've got 2 space heaters and long underwear. What more do you need? We actually have so many blankets.
We do.
We could make a blanket storage rental apartment. Be so cool, said the 28-year-old man. All right. So, the ultimate blanket for it. Indeed. And the entrance would just be that Power Rangers blanket you got me, like, back in... How long ago was the Power Rangers blanket? Had I left yet? I couldn't have, so it had to have been before. Our garage is 30 by 60. That has 10... Honey, says, our garage is 30 by 60, our garage is 30 by 60 garage that has a 10 by 10 bathroom and it's heated.
That sounds nice.
I don't know if you could hear my fiance going, that sounds nice. Typing is hard. Oh, so Scarlet Fury is busy. Quick, everybody talk to Scarlet Fury. Everyone has very important things to say and to ask Scarlet Fury. Or just little druid, tell her how cool you think she is. She put up with being friends with me for over a decade. She needs some, like, compliments. You know, a little bit, like, you know, support. Emotionally. Alright, so Plain Turnip said, how about a holiday-themed one where Christmas tree gets possessed by John Malkovich? Which, this is a great prompt. I actually kind of just want to save this for a little bit closer to Christmas. Shakespearex gave us an electronic music DJ while on a year-long tour wakes up in their van to find an infant in the passenger seat. The DJ seems to remember a dream they once had of this child. So here's the fun thing about this prompt. I'm reasonably sure that this is the product of me going and telling Shakespearex, take all the titles from the Kingdom Hearts games, throw them in a blender, and tell me what comes out. I'm pretty sure that's where this prompt came from. So, Dune Harper gave us a couple. Well, this is bad, David thought, as he catapulted through the air toward the ground. His ripcord failed. And the backup. Oh, bother. And the darkness loomed behind her, growing ever closer, hungry, thrumming, its black mouth agape. A row of rigid teeth, wet with saliva, greeted her. She crawled faster, through the tunnels, through the vents, through her home, running from the thing behind her. A writer with a Power Rangers ringtone is constantly interrupted while trying to write. Bizarro Reptar gave us New York City, planet Earth, year 2229. Humans and AI functioning androids known as synthetics live in an uneasy peace. And a synthetic child. It's just 2 prompts. Swooby gave us how about Men in Black, but it's Magic Knights versus the Undead. And Viromat89 said, a boy goes from door to door trick-or-treating on Christmas Day. Which also, I feel like I just want to save that one more for closer to Christmas. So let's see what we got. Let's see. Well, we've seen what we got. I'm fine. I'm here. I'm awake. Although, honey, would you do me the favor of filling this up with water?
I suppose.
You suppose?
It takes a lot of effort to stand up.
Oh, I see. Oh. Also, I'm trying out this posture brace. because, you know, you kind of hunch over. Oh, actually, that's way more comfortable. Oh, there we go. No. Oh, this is great. I'm going to fix my posture and have a good back posture. Thank you. I need to invest in one of those. Yeah, it was like, what, $10?
Yeah.
So far so good. It's fairly cheap. Okay, is there anything jumping out at me today? I'm just going to highlight those green because I want to save them for Christmas. I am going to throw myself at this Men in Black medieval. Let's see. Just kind of how that shakes out. So let's see. Okay, so what do we got from Men in Black? We've got 2 agents. So what if we did like a knight and a wizard? Kind of Mother called, going to be AFK. Tell your mom I said hi. Pretty sure I remember your mom's name. Starts with an R? Yeah? I don't want to say it on stream because, I don't know, it just seems weird, but... Tell your mom I said hi! Oh, looks like our roommate bought himself a vacuum cleaner. We'll make an adult out of him yet. Poor kid is such a mess. First week he was here, he was eating microwaved McDonald's for breakfast. Half-eaten microwaved McDonald's. Okay. Fuck. Thank you. I didn't do anything. It's the product of depression. Sorry, I just saw Thomas the ginger cat. Comment, I love your beard. It's just, this is the product of depression, and mostly that. The sadder I get, the more it grows. Weird combo. Okay. Nothing to worry about. Wish I could grow one. Maybe one day? I don't know your situation. I don't want to, so. I took a stage makeup class in college. There are techniques. I don't remember anymore, but there are techniques where you can, I'm 23 and a girl. Yeah, that checks out. But actually, what I was gonna say is, my model for my stage makeup class was my current my fiance, girlfriend at the time. But I did a beard on her. Oh well, still, she looked great with a beard. All right, back to the story. Shit long stubble. Yeah. I mean, that was me for a real long time. I think the first time it was last summer. I'm 28, so when I was 27, suddenly people were like, wow, your beard looks really good. I was like, what's happening? So, cool. Well, hopefully you love what I write just as much as watching it. You get to the end and you go, oh man, the process, the click-clack of the keys, that was nice, but reading this shit, whoa. Anyways, moving on. I'm just screw. It's not Flash from DC Comics. It is Flash fiction. Flash fiction is like stories that are under 800 words. I do even shorter than that. These all clock around 320. But that way I get to do 2 in a day. But yeah, nothing about the Flash. don't know who's all still floating around. Twitch is telling me I am down to 1 viewer. So, we're back to where we started. 1 viewer. Hey, viewer. Hey, viewer, you're so fun. You're so fun. You blow my mind. Hey, viewer. Hey, viewer. Anyways. So, the prompt was, how about Men in Black, but it's Magic Knights versus the Undead? And here's what turned out. Sir Avalon's onyx armor glimmered in the light of the setting sun. Beside him, Eldrith's ebony robe seemed to do the opposite, sucking in all remaining light until it was gone. What shall we do after investigating this case, O Eldrith the Wise? Stop at the tavern? The taciturn mage responded with a simple grunt. For one as erudite as Eldrith, the old man did not speak often. When he did, his words resounded across fields. Marcus! The mage bellowed. We have need to speak to you. A few seconds later, the door to this little hovel, more of a hut than a home, opened, and a young man, maybe 30, peeked his head out the door. Hello? Marcus, Avalon asked. The young man nodded, so he continued. We're here investigating some unusual reports from your area. Nothing to be worried about, just ask you some routine questions, and you can... Before he could finish his script, the young man, who had pretty convincingly hidden his zombification under makeup, booked it like a rabbit from a wolf. In a sense, he was. Eldrith grunted before shooting Avalon an expectant look. All right, fine, the knight said with a sigh before tearing off after the fleeing undead. Not like Eldrith didn't have half a dozen spells that could have laid an entire village to waste, let alone stop this one measly zombie. Still, it wasn't like it mattered. Avalon was on top of him within a dozen feet. He tackled the boy to the ground, with all of his and his armor's weight behind him, taking them both to the ground. He tackled both, taking them both to the ground. How about this? He tackled the boy with all of his and his armor's weight behind him, taking them both to the ground with a thud and a clang. Please don't slay me, Marcus wailed as Avalon pinned him to the ground. Not slaying anyone, Eldrith said, walking up. Not today. Avalon pulled the kid up and smiled. Not many undead are so good at hiding their condition. Better yet, you don't hurt folks. Wait, even... Damn it. Fuck. Avalon pulled the kid up. How about this? Avalon pulled the kid up. Not many undead are so good at hiding their condition. Better yet, you don't hurt folk. Makes you special. He grinned. Here to offer you a job. We're here to offer you a job. That was kind of cute. Oh, again, it's just... That was delightful. Again, it's one of those things I'm like, I just really want more time to kind of explore, because I love this idea of a zombie who's, like, trying to, like, hide it under, you know, makeup, and, you know, that's kind of an idea I played with a story I wanted to do years and years ago about a college, like a community college for monsters, and about a human who accidentally gets accepted. It was going to be... He arrives and they all think he's the Harbinger of Doom because they're expecting a demon to transfer in, but he's just a human with really shitty grades, and this was the only school that actually accidentally accepted his transcript. So they're like, well, fuck, we, like... And he's like, no, look, just don't send me out. This is the only place I have. I just need a degree. And the joke was, you know, it was going to be all these, like, kind of comedic takes on monsters and stuff. Like, there was going to be a changeling with body dysmorphia, which isn't, like, funny, but it's kind of funny. There was going to be a ditzy, like, kind of ditzy blonde witch, who's just, like, pink and sparkles and just, you know, complete opposite end of the spectrum from, like, goth and black and, you know, eyeliner and stuff like that. Just, like... bubblegum witch, basically. And then one of the characters was going to be a vampire who claims to be centuries old. Ah, yes, that historical event, I was there for it. And then one day his parents show up. He was only turned into a vampire like 4 years ago. He looks 20. He's been 21 years old for about 4 years now. But he like plays into the whole like I am ancient. Dresses all goth and shit. And one of the characters was going to be the womanizing zombie.
Womanizing zombie.
That was a story I was going to write.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was going to be about a zombie, or one of the ensemble was going to be a zombie who was a womanizer. So he was like big on like, he wore contacts to like cover up his like, his eyes were like rotting away, but he puts on contacts so they look normal, and he like puts on makeup, just like full on hair care, just like, he had like a half hour to hour long routine to like get ready to be presentable and to go like hit on girls.
Excellent.
Because if there's one thing that can't stop misogyny, it's death.
That's depressing.
You got me.
I did.
That's good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh my god. Damn. That was good. I should revisit that story. I always thought it had a lot of potential. I just never knew where to take it. So, that was... What was that? Was that like the 80... We're in the 80s now on stories. It's good. Okay. Oh, whoops. But yeah, I really like the idea of like the zombie who's hiding its condition. In this case, just like an awkward kid, and the idea I was kind of playing with is that they want to hire him because there are other zombies who don't who do know how to hide it, but they also are like actual monsters. So if I was to rewrite that, I might have actually moved it to a little further up, so I had a little bit more time to explore that idea, but I think it worked fine. So what else do we got? We got... I think I'm going to try this one. Oh, there's so many. Okay. So this one from Dune Harbor about the darkness looming. Okay. This will be the 82nd story. Damn. No, this is the 82nd story. Oh, fuck. It means I fucked something up. Or did I? Yes. What else is new? I can't keep my formatting straight. I'm having one of those those Ben Wyatt moments where it's like, no, just let it go. It's fine, and then I can't. Okay, there, I think. So I missed Bizarro Reptars from yesterday. Makes sense. Alright, so this would be the 83rd prompt we've done. 83rd prompt, and this is what, the 42nd stream. 42 straight streams. Good for us. And hey, we had Thomas the Ginger Cat pop in for like a couple minutes, but it says I'm back down to 1 viewer, so I'm assuming that's the little druid. The one who's been with me through it all on here. I appreciate that. I really do. It's nice that I'm not just speaking into the void. This will be the moment that you've like gone to get a sandwich or something and I'm just speaking to nothing. I'm speaking to your cat. I'm okay with that. Cats like me. I like cats. Okay. So, it's also time for me to remove this thing because my muscles are starting to spasm. Oh. They do. Probably. Like, I like most. I honestly, like, it's not hard to, like, I like most pets. So let's see. So once again, Dune Harper has given us kind of what I would describe as like a narrative prompt. It's more like the first part of a story than it is a prompt. So let's see. Still gives us one line for introduction. Okay, so the darkness loomed behind her, growing ever closer, hungry, thrumming, its black mouth agape, a row of rigid teeth, wet with saliva, greeted her. She crawled faster through the tunnels, through the vents, through her home, running from the thing behind her. A girl is chased by a thing. But okay. So I'm gonna be a little edity about this prompt. One of the things that's kind of throwing me, a couple things are throwing me off. I'm gonna just point them out. We have the darkness loom behind her, growing ever closer. Cool. Hungry, thrumming, it's black-mouthed agape. Row of rigid teeth, wet with saliva, greeted her. Okay. I feel like greeted would be... I want to change it to awaited her. Because greeted almost feels like how's it greet? If she's running away, it can't greet her. She crawled faster through the tunnels, through the vents, through her home. Are tunnels and vents associated with the home? How long has this been happening? And then running from the thing. So we have crawled, and then 2 lines down, running. So, I think this was one of the prompts that my bud threw me kind of very quickly. So I really enjoyed the atmosphere and kind of the tone of it, but some of the continuity feels askew. So. say one of the cats. That is Big Black. There she is. I don't know if you had time to see her. Anyways, cat. Hey there, guys. Welcome back. Oh, I just noticed I've returned. Hooray. What was the last prompt? Missed it because my roommate wanted to chat while he made dinner, so we're both blind on this one. Cool. Well, in that case, let's just dive right in. The darkness loomed behind her, growing ever closer, hungry, thrumming, its black mouth agape. A row of rigid teeth wet with saliva awaited her. She ran faster. Through her home, through the crawl space, through the tunnels, fleeing from the thing behind her. She slammed the door, useless in the long run, momentary barrier. How about this? Fleeing from the thing behind her, she slammed the next door she came to, useless in the long run, momentary barrier. A storage closet faced her. No exit. Dead end. She swallowed, her chest heaving. It was the first time she had stopped since the darkness had given chase. Her lungs ached for air, gulping it down while her heart raced, her pulse thumping between her ears. It was all she could hear. No escape. All the running had brought her here, a death where no one would find her. The darkness would consume her and spit her out, and what was left would be unrecognizable. The hair on her arms and the back of her neck stood on end as she made her choice, the last choice she would ever get to make. She turned around and flung open the door to face the darkness. Nothing stared back at her. No dripping fangs or grasping claws, just a plain, concrete tunnel, barely lit by a distant, flickering fluorescent light. Somewhere, water dripped, distant and mundane. How about far away and mundane? Somewhere water dripped, far away and mundane. Still, she did not move. Even as her breath slowed and her heart calmed, she did not dare move, didn't dare break this calm. Had she escaped? Was it even possible? No. She didn't trust it. With shaking hands, she closed the door and turned back around. The figure that rushed at her from the darkness had no face. Soon, neither did she. Spooky. Cheers. The only part I don't like about this is the transition from I'm gonna try. The last prompt I did was the Men in Black. It was Knights. How about Men in Black, but it's Magic Knights versus the Undead? Sorry, I kind of zoned. I was trying to. I think I cleaned up the transition between the prompt and the actual story. So it's the darkness loomed behind her, growing ever closer, hungry, thrumming. Hungry, thrumming, its black mouth agape, a row of rigid teeth wet with saliva, hungry for her. She ran faster, through her home, through the crawl space, through her home, through the basement crawl space, through the tunnels, fleeing from the thing behind her. Up ahead, at the tunnel's end, a door awaited her. She leapt through, slammed the door. A storage closet faced her. Dead end. No exit. She swallowed her chest heaving. I think that flows a lot better. The only problem now is I've changed, because I wrote a door awaited her, that was also wet with saliva waiting for her. So I changed that to hungry, but there's already hungry thrumming. So it's almost and this sometimes happens when I'm writing, or this has happened in the past, where it's almost like a cascade, where it's like, oh, I should edit this, and then it becomes, I change it, I tweak this thing, but then, oh, I've kind of repeated this from here, so I change that, and it's almost like reverse dominoes. You end up going, you like go backward through the thing you wrote and kind of edit toward the ending. So let's see. Right. I drank all my water. So how about the darkness loomed behind her, growing ever closer, ravenous, thrumming, its black mouth agape, a row of rigid teeth wet with saliva, hungry for her. She ran faster, through her home, through the basement crawl space, through the tunnels, fleeing from the thing behind her. Up ahead, at the tunnel's end, a door awaited her. She leapt through, slammed the door. A storage closet faced her. Dead end, no exit. She swallowed, her chest heaving. This was the first time she had stopped since the darkness had given chase. I like that a lot better. I try not to get too hung up on editing these, because that's all, farther and down the line. And I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think this, at some point, this would be, like, editing would be something you'd want to see on the stream? Like, go back and revisit and edit or expand or something, one of these stories? Or just kind of keep... I don't think I would want to do anything until I'm, quote-unquote, done, where I have the 155 stories that I kind of wanted to get, the 155 stories that would constitute a novel's worth of word count of content. I wouldn't want to do anything until then, but that could be fun. I don't know. But, if that's something you guys are curious about, let me know. That said, I think I'm going to call it. I mean, we wrote our 2 stories, so that's how we do. And go from there. I'll get these on the blog, maybe. I'm really behind on the blog. Say you like more time with a few stories, so maybe that'd be fun to see sequels or extensions. Yeah, like... One of the things, and this is always true with my stories, and it's true even with the 150,000 word novel I wrote, is I had somebody read it and they were like, wow, I'm sure you're going to cut this by like 30,000 words, right? And I was like, sure. Because so much of how I write, I mean, and you've watched enough of these streams to see me go in and say, okay, well, I've got 6 lines to do this, I've got 6 lines to do that. And usually by the end, I have this far greater understanding of the story I just wrote. So I always want to go back and add things in, because it's like, okay, well, now I've got the skeleton. I want to go back and add the muscle and the meat and the skin and the color and texture and all that stuff. And that's good, I think, because I think it saves me from, I mean, I come from an epic fantasy background, so one of the big things you run into if you're a big fan of big fantasy is the stories just keep expanding. I mean, you see this with Game of Thrones, you see this with Patrick Rothfuss, you see it, oh god, Wheel of Time. And I'm pretty much of the opinion that none of those stories really deserve or have earned being that large. I'm sure that the Stormlight archives are different, but I also just, I don't think I can commit to a series of books that large. I understand that Sanderson writes differently than most of these writers who are just kind of finding the story. I mean, Dark Tower just keeps going. All these series are good, though. That it's not a question of quality unless you're talking about Wheel of Time, in my opinion, because that just like dips it. That goes straight past the like. It's just absurd. I mean, have you read Wheel of Time? Do you know about Wheel of Time? Because no series should ever be that fucking long. Just never. It's stupid. I started it long ago and couldn't get through. Yeah, and at the end of the day, I'm not saying anything about like the actual writing. I could. I only read book 1 and I was like, yeah, I'm not sitting through, 11 more of these or 10 more of these and then Brandon Sanderson coming in to clean it up for the last 3. I can't. I once read a review of Wheel of Time that was literally just the reviewer going through and listing all the other shit that Wheel of Time was longer than, like all religious texts. So the Bible, the Old Testament, the Quran, the Torah, all together. It's longer than that. It's longer than the complete histories of World War I and II. It's longer than the complete works of Shakespeare. It's longer than, it just down the list of things that Wheel of Time is longer than. I was like, I think this is a pretty good way to illustrate just what's wrong with Wheel of Time. But it was so popular for reasons that I don't really understand, but hey, well, I'm not here to yuck anyone's yum. I worked in a bookstore, believe you me, I mean, you say, wow, I'm assuming Wheel of Time is 3.5 million words long. It's an astoundingly long series, I think. Yes. Word count. A statistical analysis of the Wheel of Time. Oh, this is a really long article. I just wanted somebody to tell me how long the series is. Oh, God. Even the fans of this series don't know how to be brief. Wheel of Time word count compared to other series. So, I was wrong. That number was from before Brandon Sanderson even took over the series. The complete Wheel of Time all 14 books, I think. 13 or 14. I think it's 14. 4,900,036 words, according to this Reddit thread. Fuck me. So, like, yeah. I mean, it's not surprising that fucking Robert Jordan died before he could finish the series. Like, it's just ridiculous, and no. I don't wanna. So, but, like, it's not surprising. Like, I feel like that's what Sanderson wants Stormlight Archives to do, is to kind of, maybe not that long, because he wants to do 10 books. So, like, archive. Oh, let me, for anyone who wants to see what I'm talking about, here's the, so, the 4,900,000, that number is all 15 novels and companion books. A Song of Ice and Fire so far is 1,736,000. Harry Potter is 1,084,000. The Bible is only 780. Yeah, I mean, down here. Yeah, so if you take A Song of Ice and Fire, Harry Potter, Holy Bible, War and Peace, Lord of the Rings, Silmarillion, and The Hobbit, and put them all together, it is less than Wheel of Time. And Stormlight Archives. Oh my god, people are so obsessive. And I'm one to judge. Okay. So what is it? Way of Kings is the first Stormlight, right? Oh, yeah, there it is. So, Stormlight. I'm gonna use the document to do some quick math. Oh, actually, wait. I've got a Excel spreadsheet open right here. So let's see. The Way of Kings is 383, 181, and 403, 736, and 454, 768, and so what's the one that just came out? Rhythm of War. Word count. Roughly 460,000 words. Okay, so actually it's telling me that's 470. So, what we're going to do is we're going to add, I mean, it's not complicated math. We're going to just average the length of these four. And data. Where is it? And Stormlight's supposed to be 10 books long. So it will be, if he does. So to be honest, his series is going to be, if the averages hold out, and I mean, that's a, you know, there's still 6 books left in the series, but averaging the first 4 books, you get 427,921. So about 428,000 words per book on average over the first 4 books. So we're 40% of the way done. Averaging that and then multiplying by 10 gives you 4,279,213 words, which is not that much shorter than the Wheel of Time. Yeah, what is it? 4,900. I can't hold numbers very long. 0.36. Okay, so minus this is so great. The difference between the 2 franchises. Now I'm just having fun with this now. I haven't even checked. You guys might be gone. But the difference between the 2 franchises, if the averages hold out, is going to be 620,824, which would be an error. A little over 4 times as long as... Shit. Where's my... There it is. My book. This book, it would be... The difference between the 2 series would be 4 of those. But let's see how many... It's 153,000. Way to hit the curb, kid. So the kids in the neighboring duplex keep hanging out with these kids who, A, can't fucking drive, which is great. But also, I don't see any of them wearing masks. They all hang out and drive in cars. It's great. I can't wait for them to all get COVID. I think I did this wrong. 153,000. Yeah, it would be... It's been a little while since I had to do 153,000 divided by that times 100. Wow. No, I did it. I did it right the first time. So this chunky boy that I wrote and that people were like, so you're going to cut like 30,000 words from, right? It would be, for Wheel of Time, 32 of those. And then for Stormlight Archive, the best we can extrapolate, it would be 28. So, in a series, one that's going to be 10 books and the other was 14, like, I'm going to be honest, if you can't tell your story in this length, I kind of question it. In the case of Robert Jordan, I just don't think he could stop himself. I think Patrick Rothfuss and George R. R. Martin and Stephen King all fall into that same camp. Brandon Sanderson's doing it intentionally, but it's one of those, like, in the words of Jurassic Park, yeah, your science and, you know... shit, how's the exact quote go? Your scientists... were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should. They slept on a plastic lunchbox and want to sell it. Well, you're meant to come down here and defend me from these characters, and the only one I've got on my side is the blood-sucking lawyer. Thank you. Anyways, so there you go. There was a bit of math. There was some opinions. I am here for it. You also are here for the Witcher complete experience, all 200 hours of it. Like the rushed playthrough of the main story. Rushed is 32 hours. I commit hard. I got Cassie to start playing Witcher, and it's going about as bad as you would expect. Because she has OCD, and she can't not pick up things. She's getting better, but I think she has spent more time optimizing her inventory than I did in the entire game. I should see how many hours I have in Breath of the Wild. I mean, Teak panicked a little bit when she saw how much time I had spent in Dark Souls 3. So there's that. It's too much. Witcher 3 is a little bit too much. But... And I don't even know if I could touch Breath of the Wild. That one... Whew. Well, one, I don't think I have a console that would play it. For one. So that helps. Yeah, no, I've dropped like 157 hours in Dark Souls 3. So. But that's definitely the most. I think after that would be... I mean, anything I've played since I was a kid. So like Baldur's Gate in junior high probably doesn't count, but like, I know in college I sank like 50 some hours into BioShock Infinite, which is not a long game. I mean, yeah. So yeah, 11 and a half hours main plus extras, 27 hours. That still, if I dropped like 58 hours into it, that's still that's a lot. I played this game many times. 250 hours in Animal Crossing according to the Switch, 25 hours in Smash Bros. Yeah. I'm sorry. That's a lot, man. Power to you? Don't know if that's a good thing, yo. I was gonna say go outside, but I know you spend a lot of time outside, so like... I guess a lot of Nintendo consoles are portable. I guess you could take them with you outside. It has to be wrong. Sure, Jan. Sure. Uh-huh. Yeah. It's wrong. It's not that you have a problem. I've been playing that Dark Souls 3 game for 3 years. Does it count when I put it to sleep mode, but don't close it in the game? Fucked if I don't have one of these consoles. I don't know. I'm just gonna accept that you're addicted. By the way, I need a haircut so badly. I don't like it, but I also don't feel super comfortable. I think all the other guys who were like, I'm gonna give myself a haircut, I think that all happened like 6 months ago, and then I'm still just trucking along like. Anyways, 170 hours in Zelda. That is, in fact, a lot. Hey, Itachi. How's it going? We're just... Itachi, you told me yesterday, I think. Again, we're just kind of wrapping up. We were talking about... well, as you can see, we were discussing how much time we spent in different video games. My fiance is just kind of started... I forced her to start playing The Witcher 3 by handing her the controller and opening the game on her PlayStation account. And I thought it was going to be really funny. But, turns out my The Witcher 3 and my fiance's OCD nest perfectly in each other, and I have unleashed a monster into the world. So, if I play every day for 30 minutes, it'll add up, so... I can definitely see how any of those games would eat up all your time. I never played any of those, actually. I had a really sporadic introduction into gaming, and it mostly came from... I never had like a console or a gaming computer growing up. So when I was in high school, between like in the late, or from like 2007 to 2010, I was playing on a laptop I was playing games like Baldur's Gate 2 and the original Fallout and Planescape Torment. And because I didn't have anything that could play it. The most advanced game I could play in 2010 was Knights of the Old Republic. So then, as the years went by, the idea of, like, I didn't even have internet back then. So the idea of doing anything that had, like, an online component was just completely out the door. Oh, no, the most advanced game I had was Warcraft 3. Although Warcraft 3 was 2003, and I think that's around the time that Knights of the Old Republic came out. Anyways, I came into gaming from the story side of things. Hey, look, the writer, he plays games for stories. But it took me probably until the last... I didn't have a console until 3 years ago. I got a PlayStation 4. And finally had the time to kind of sit down and start playing games that, like, for the gameplay aspect. But by that point, the idea of trying to play multiplayer with other people gives me such bad anxiety. Like, oh no, they're gonna know I'm bad. Like, somebody I was like, oh, I'm not a gamer, and my fiance's like, didn't you beat Dark Souls? I was like, yeah. She's like, didn't you beat Dark Souls 3? I was like, yeah. You're kind of a gamer. I'm like, oh, I didn't notice. Nobody told me. Because all my friends in high school, Scarlet Fury, your man was one of them, who, he was like a gamer. He was a real gamer. Not to say he didn't also play the games that I was playing, which is why we got along so well, but like, he was like, didn't he have like, 40 Xbox 360 games? And then Kaithus, who pops into the chat every once in a while, he was the WoW guy. So they were like the real gamers, and I was off to the side playing the 90s RPGs. So, Now, finally, 10 years later, I can catch up and talk about all the games that came out in high school. Who wants to talk about BioShock, guys? Anyways. Well, now that I've wasted everybody's time by talking about stuff they already know, people tell me I'm not a gamer. And they're not the only one. Anyways, now that I've seen the hours I put in, I will contest that, LOL. Like, I'm trying to think of how exactly to articulate this idea. Fuck gatekeeping bullshit. That seems like a pretty nice place to start. Like, you're a gamer if you feel like a gamer. So, GameCube release my high school. Alright, so you're a bit older than me, I think? Yep, you're definitely older than me. Mine was GameCube. Okay. 2001. Nice. So, entirely different relationship with gaming. It's interesting. I tried to go back and I've watched a couple of videos on YouTube about like a history of Zelda, which I got to play for like 2 weeks because my mom picked up some console in the 90s at a yard sale and then it died like within a couple of weeks. But so I got to play the first like 3 squares of Zelda and Mario. The rallying cry of a new console generation. The graphics are amazing. 4 years later. Oh dear. Although I guess PlayStation 5, or well, yeah, I guess PlayStation 5 is even hitting that note. I was just thinking about all the stuff I'm seeing about Cyberpunk 2077. Just like, do not play it on the older consoles. It will not go well. I don't know if anyone else has been kind of watching that kerfluffle because, oof, they should have canceled the old consoles. Like, looking at the performance issues, they should have just canceled releasing them on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. My God, it looks bad. Like, glitches galore. Especially from has been having so many problems playing on his PC. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous that a company could spend 8 years working on this product and B, have some of the worst employee crunch in the industry and still turn out a game this buggy, you know? We're like, not to let Naughty Dog off the hook for their terrible, terrible crunch. There was a guy, so Naughty Dog, the guys who did Last of Us and Last of Us Part 2 and the Uncharted series, when they were doing Last of Us 2, I read that one of their, somebody working on the game ended up in the hospital for overexhaustion. Like, that shit's not okay. And I feel dirty saying this, but they released a game that was playable on a majority of the platforms it released for. Whereas, yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 is apparently playable on the new consoles, and so that's hitting what? 3 out of 5 of the console, or PC, Xbox One, and snow's falling off the ceiling, or the roof. And the PlayStation 4 cannot play the damn thing right. So, oh man, yeah, it's that's been one of the I mean, I've talked with Lil Druid about this, playing The Witcher, knowing all of the kind of abuses that happen behind the scenes. I mean, just headline after headline. It's rough, because it's like, yeah, you guys turned out, like, in the case of The Witcher, they turned out a really good product, although I don't know I have the benefit of 5 years worth of patches, so there's definitely a part of me that's like, was this playable when you guys first released it? How bad was that week? Because from what I've heard, the very first Witcher game, when they released it, the load times were up to an hour between areas. So it's not like this is the first time CD Projekt Red has just, like, come out the gate and fallen flat on their face. It's just nobody played the first Witcher game. So, man. Yup. But, like, I watched, because CD Projekt Red did a video, like a behind-the-scenes series about making The Witcher 3, and a lot of the guys working on it were fans of the first game, and one of the guys was like, yeah, the game would crash about an hour in. There was a load, like, the game would try to load the next area, but it would just crash every time. So I just played that hour over and over and over again. I'm like, no! And then eventually they patched it, and he got to play the rest of the game, and then went on to, like, work for CD Projekt Red and make Witcher 3, which, good for him, I guess. Although, everyone I've talked to, Kythus, who hasn't been in the chat for a while, and Swooby, who we did one of his prompts today, he was the knight, and, Men in Black meets, medieval Men in Black prompt. We also discussed kind of the games industry, and both of them are like, oh yeah, no, nobody wants to work in the games industry. It's terrible how they treat their employees, just across the board. It's like, man, kind of sucks to find out, because I know for both of them, they were in high school, they were like, yeah, I want to work in the games industry. And now, we're all approaching 30, or in Kythus' case, he is 30. And none of us are like, nobody thinks it's a good idea. Nobody wants to go down that road. Except my fiance. Oh, she's not here. Where'd she go? Okay. She still wants to go down that road. But, we've had many conversations about that. So, I think that's a fair place to leave things. I'm gonna wrap this up. And, oh no. Okay, I'm trying to figure something out. Okay. Well, I've taken about enough of your time. I killed enough time. But I enjoyed this chat, so it's kind of nice to take a bit after finishing the stories to just kind of hang out, chat for a little bit. And I need to figure out how to do this thing, because I've forgotten. Okay. Alright, guys, I am going to call it. I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, and hope you have a good evening. So thanks for hanging out for the rando video game chat. Alright, that's all I have to say. That's all I have to write. No heroes in 2020, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.